Hey Kyle, welcome back from Hawaii. I mean, I'm sure you're back by now, just haven't seen you in a while, and I hope you're doing really well. And if you are back, which I think you are, I do hope strongly that the heat wave that we're just about to hit again isn't going to be too harsh for you after your Hawaiian trip. I hope you're doing well with the ukulele as well. So the whole thing today, I figured I'd just make a quick video, if I can, about a few things that I thought you might find interesting. So I've got a couple of points that I even wrote out so I can kind of stay on track. And the first thing, if you want to try to play with it, is something called dotted eighth echo. You can do the same thing with dotted 16th. So you put a rhythm down, whatever your beats per minute is, and you divide 45 into that. So in the case of the thing that I'm going to be playing here coming up, it's 155 beats per minute. And so I divide 45 into 155, and I come up with about 0.290 or 2.90. Either way, that's 290 milliseconds. That's your goal. So the whole thing is to do Flight of the Wounded Bumblebee or Yngwie Malmsteen-esque, you know, stuff. Me, I just like doing the picking type of thing. So in this case, it's, you hear that dot, dot, bum, bum. So if you pick right, you can get it to go like twice as fast as what you're actually doing. Kind of a, so let that be your second pick stroke. This is actually a very good exercise for timing. Making sure you're dead on in your rhythm. It's its own metronome. You can do very neat and creative things like it, or with it. Or not. Go up scales. Arpeggios. What I find neat about this, though, is some of the nutty stuff that you can do. Like, diminished sounds particularly good if you're just cruising through it. Diminished meaning that. Or not. Cute, huh? Chromatics are fun. Or, the way I really like to do a lot of stuff is with this descending in thirds. So, makes it sound like you're descending in fourths. Or ascending. So if you do it like Nuno Betancourt, what is that? Maybe it's something like that. Yeah, something like that. Whatever. Anyway, it's fun. So play around with that. That's fun. Second one I want to talk to you about is legato. Legato is an immense amount of fun. For that, I'm going to change my guitar tone and hopefully not make the whole thing too terribly loud. If you don't mind, hold on a second. So let's just go ahead and go to this nice gainy tone. And that's not too terribly loud. So with that, a little too reverby. That's a little more like it. Hold up. There. Okay, so here's the deal with my legato. One of the first I'll give you some. So I want to give you some of the exercises that I had when I was just starting out for legato, and I also want to go ahead and get into after this some mid-level exercises that I was doing probably when I was around 26. Been playing for over 10 years, and stuff that really kind of helped hone picking hand technique and kind of bouncing around strings. Besides the, that kind of thing. They're a little more simplistic than just. But I'll give you that one too if you like. That would be fun to play. Well, it's fun to play for me. The Mozart thing. So, but legato. So one of the first things I started doing with legato that allowed me to break some speed barriers. I read an article, and I think it was either Guitar World or Guitar Player magazine. Maybe it was even Guitar School that was covering some Alan Holdsworth techniques. And one thing popped out that they were talking about with legato. There's a couple of different types. He does all hammers, which is hammer, 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 hammer. And I actually find that much more difficult to play than just hammer-ons and pull-offs, even if you're playing them, and there's a cat behind the camera here, even if you're playing them, I mean, I can play them pretty smoothly, but the idea is for you to be able to make them sound like, or smooth, just to be able to reflect whatever emotion you're trying to convey. That's the whole point of it, right? So anyway, so this one is pretty simple. It just involves a 3-note per string C major scale, like your, Paul Gilbert stuff, that kind of thing. So in this case, it's starting from the highest note, and it's a group of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's whole step, half step shape. Down to the next string. Down to the next string. Down to the next string. Notice I'm not picking. Down to the next string. Down to the next string. So how that all groups together is, it's kind of a floaty feel. So because it's 7s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do it like that. It's still 7, whatever way you want to count it. So, but smoothly all the way down. So your 7s are. It's kind of a floaty feel. So, okay, kind of neat. And I'm tuned to the E flat this time, so we can play together. So, for years, it took me, actually a student of mine, to come up with the idea, because I always say anything you play forward, you should be able to play backwards. He came up with a way of playing it backwards. It's a really neat lick. So that starts out with your index finger. Now, the hammering up. So when you're hammering, probably easier to hear it if I mute the adjacent strings. It's a little harder to play, especially if you're used to doing it this way. Fun. Try those. They're fantastic. Move them all around. Enjoy different scale shapes, stuff like that. I was going to mention this whole muting of the string thing and just letting your left hand do the job. So one of the things that I learned early on is if you want your legato to be as powerful as it can be, is you really have to kind of remove your right hand from it. So you can mute your strings in any way, tie a sock around here, or a piece of Velcro or something like that. They actually have string mutes. For me, just reaching over here, it's a nice visual. Satriani does it too, so it makes me happy. So one of the things that I used to do is just see how much I could, or how long I could go, going on different scale shapes, shifting, and and not miss any notes. And trying to maintain a rhythm and trying to be as smooth with it as possible. Something else that's kind of neat is you can do pentatonic things that way. And that's all just extended pentatonic, so. Enjoy that. It's fun stuff. So going on with the show, there's some other show. There are some other absolute legato things. Now you learned this from Paul in Intense Rock. And fun. But the other stuff that Paul Gilbert teaches as well, can't do it right now, but which is one of the reasons why I'm so pro legato at this point, is those licks in legato. So. Only picking the adjacent string. I'm not picking the original string. I will pick it the first time. But this is Paul Gilbert. Just want to accent the rhythm, that's all. Fun. So take that for what it is. The last thing on the legato bit will be like 3-note per string arpeggios. So one of the things that got me doing the sweeping stuffs, I really can't play today. Well, I started out doing 3-note per string arpeggios. That kind of thing. But in order to do this, I had to have my left hand be able to keep up with my right going, because at the time it was faster. So what did I practice? Hand over here, and fun. Simple C major shape, starting with the G note, so we're on the 5th. Moving it up. It's the E minor, starting on the B. E flat, or B flat. Actually, that's B major. So I was doing that stuff, between 16, 17, 18. And not necessarily as well, but I was doing that back then. And now you know how to do it, and I guess I could slow that down, but this is really just, it's the type of shapes. Okay, so mid-level exercises. I'm hoping you're finding these useful, and I am trying to rush. I got a bedtime in just a little bit, but I got to get something to you. We haven't talked in a while, and you missed out on your weekly lesson for a bit. So mid-level musical exercises. So when I was around 26 or 27, I was in a musical renaissance for me. I was expanding in technique, and there was getting all sorts of new information, new influences, Uli Roth, guys like that. And there's a couple of things. So one of the things that I did a lot was, I played a lot in the Circle of Fifths, the main melody to Hey Sue, Jesus, Joy of Man's Desiring from Bach. That. And And that actually really works the hand. So slowly. That's about as slow as I can really go. Yeah. Really like that. So anyway. And then up. So we can go to E, we can go down to D. So in this case, I will go down to, or up to D. And you can, if you really wanted to. And then, what's next? But anyway, you get the point. The idea is move it around, get it glorious. But you're really not trying to do anything but getting used to what it feels like to play in various positions, making your hand play all the motion, or hands go through all the motions and play through the jumps. It is kind of a finger twister, tongue twister, but for your fingers. And it does make you think as far as the picking is concerned, because it doesn't really, I mean, you have to stay rhythmic, and it doesn't really have the same notes on every string, the same pattern on every string. It really moves around a lot, and it makes you think. So it's good. Once it gets down to muscle memory, and that's all nice and all, you just gotta keep playing it along. Or you play it wrong. Again. Sorry. Another one, though, came from Uli John Roth's Earthquake from, I want to say it was Firewind, but that wasn't it. It says from his, oh shoot, it was his first solo album after the Scorpions. Anyway, he was doing some licks like this. So this is all based on diminished and chromaticisms. Now you can play that with alternating pick. This is it's an advanced exercise. It's a good exercise. So alternate picking, pull off, straight down, back up, pull off. Those are just minor thirds, diminished shape. Diminished. So, let me try this again, because I'm thinking of 3 different things at once, so. This is the other one. So this, just keep the rhythm, just in chromatic. There are other ways of playing it, which is the way Marty Friedman would do it, which is hard, by the way. Down. So what is it? Down, 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 up, down, down, up. It's not really part of my technique, but, you know, it can be fun, I guess. So the other thing to this is all the way down. So it's the same every time. Then All you're doing is repeating. That's a diminished pattern. It's all there. And that's all picked. And I hit that on an up, down, down. So go in between the two. Go up a minor third to continue the diminished. That kind of thing. You can play with it as much as you want. So the deal with this is, it's getting you used to picking what they used to call cross-picking. Now, some people mistake cross-picking for alternate picking. But cross-picking is like alternate picking across each string, one note per string. It would be like alternate picking an arpeggio, because that's what you're doing. So there's a cool thing for that, too. It's an Yngwie thing, which I used to play when I was much younger, but as you get older, you start to play things differently. But this, if you really wanted to speed it up and go nuts, you know, like I said, I can't play today, but we'll go on from there and play something else. So on top of the ooey crap, which I still think is fantastic, that's when I started to do more than your common hammer-on, pull-off, legato-y stuff. So that's when I started to do, attempt to do like that kind of thing, the things that I'm doing now. So we're kind of tying this back to legato. Which is really fun to me. And of course then there's the 8 string, or 8 note per string. So something to start with that on is 4 notes per string. And that's literally chromatic, but it's not chromatic. It's just symmetrical. It's a chromatic shape. You're playing symmetrically across the strings. 1 note added. Notice the hammer. Okay. Next is 2 notes and top, which will make this sextuplet. My favorite, which is the 7. Marvelous, marvelous feel. I love that. Going back down. And we can even keep this on top 3 strings here and just go up and down, by the way. Back down. And that's the hammer there. Fun! And easier to play faster than it is slower, by the way. 4 strings again, or 4 notes extra. There's no real use for this in music, but it's kind of fun to do, and you can impress all the neighbors. Thanks, Paul. Anyway, the other thing that I think that I could tie into this, besides the Yngwie type of thing, which, you know, only if you ask for it, would be an older Joe Satriani exercise, and it also emphasizes some cross-picking. Again, these are my mid-level exercises, what I was doing when I was around 27. So You can do this in a couple of groupings. You've got 2 notes, and it's always kind of a diminished shape. Sure, no problem. But really, see? Threes. By the way, yes, if you listen to old Metallica, Kirk Hammett did use this at the beginning of his last solo in the Four Horsemen. It's a Joe Satriani exercise. So, you shouldn't sweep, but everybody has a speed limit. Because it defeats the purpose of the exercise. It's to get you to pick across. That alone is pretty good. Because each one starts differently. One's a down, one's an up. Hard to do. 4. Hard to do for me right now. I haven't done that in a long time. In fact, I've only swept that for a couple, last 10 years or so. In fact, that all right, I quit. Have a great night, and hopefully we'll see you sometime around the weekend. My job now is a practical nightmare. Living hell lasts... How long it's going to last, I mean, I don't know. But still, have fun playing around the campfire. Or don't set any fires. Everybody's got a burn ban. Night.